Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to demystify what is pretty much every homeowner's worst nightmare: water damage. It's really not a matter of if it'll happen, but when and just how bad it's going to be. And believe me, how you react in those first few minutes, it can make all the difference. So, let's get right into it. So, picture this. It's the middle of the night, dead quiet, and then you hear it. That faint but totally unmistakable drip, drip, drip. Your heart just sinks, right? Doesn't matter if it's a burst pipe, a leaky roof, or some appliance that finally gave up. That little sound is the start of a massive household disaster. So you track down the source and you find a puddle on the floor. And it's so easy to think, okay, the problem is just this water. But what's the real damage from a simple leak? Oh, it goes so much deeper than you might think. Okay, first up, we are talking about the actual integrity of your home. When moisture soaks into building materials, like the wood joists in your drywall, it doesn't just make them wet. It starts a process of decay and structural rot. It's literally weakening the bones of your house from the inside out. And of course, that leads directly to a huge financial hit. See, unresolved water issues aren't just an annoyance. They are a giant red flag for anyone who might want to buy your house down the road. Ignoring a tiny leak today can literally slash your property's value tomorrow. Seriously, fixing it is an investment you just can't afford to skip. Now, this is probably the most terrifying part of all this. The water is just the beginning. The real horror is what happens next. In a damp, humid environment, mold isn't a problem for later. It starts to grow in as little as 24 to 48 hours. And boom, you've got a secondary health hazard that's both dangerous and incredibly expensive to get rid of. To really see how all these things can create a perfect storm, we're going to zoom in on a specific place, Apopka, Florida. In a place like this, the environment itself is practically working against you, turning the whole state into a super high-risk zone for homeowners.
So what's this number? Well, that is the average year-round humidity in Central Florida, over 70%. All that constant heavy moisture in the air is like a massive accelerator for damage. It means that once water gets in, drying things out is incredibly tough. And that clock for mold growth, it starts ticking way faster.
And the humidity is just one piece of this puzzle. In a place like Florida, the ground is already saturated because of a high water table. You've got tons of older homes with old pipes just waiting to fail. Your AC unit is running all the time, creating a constant source of condensation. Add in shifting soils and almost daily thunderstorms, and suddenly you've got this whole stack of compounding risks that demand a super fast response. This quote from our source material just says it all, doesn't it? Every minute counts. And that is not an exaggeration. In a high humidity place, the difference between calling someone right away and waiting even a few hours can mean thousands and thousands of dollars in extra damage. Time is absolutely your biggest enemy here.
Okay, so we've definitely established the urgency. It's serious. But now, let's shift gears from the problem to the solution. Because when the worst happens, there is a calm, methodical, professional process that can get you back to normal. A real professional response breaks all of that chaos down into 3 clear phases. It all starts with that first frantic phone call. Then they get to the critical work, getting all that water out and starting the drying process. And finally, they coordinate the full restoration, the part where they bring your home back to the way it was before the disaster. And please, forget about your shop vac and a couple of house fans. This job requires specialized, heavy-duty equipment. We're talking about powerful, truck-mounted vacuums, huge commercial-grade dehumidifiers, and, this is the really cool part, tools like thermal imaging cameras. These things can literally see moisture hidden inside your walls that your eyes would completely miss.
All right, let's peel back the curtain a little and get into the science of it all. The restoration industry doesn't just guess. It operates on a really precise set of scientific standards. And understanding some of the lingo is actually super helpful for any homeowner going through this.
And it all starts with this one acronym, IICRC. This is the big one. It's the organization that sets the global standards for this kind of work. So when you hire an IICRC-certified professional, you're not just getting a person with a truck. You're getting someone who's been trained in a proven scientific process to make your home safe and dry again.
A huge part of that science is knowing that not all water is created equal. Professionals break it down into 3 categories. You've got Category 1,
which is clean water. Then, Category 2, gray water, which is a bit contaminated. And then there's Category 3, black water, which is, well, grossly unsanitary. Knowing where the water came from is absolutely critical for figuring out how to clean it up safely. Okay, here's a big one that confuses a lot of people. The difference between mitigation and restoration. Think of it like this. Mitigation is the emergency first aid. It's stopping the bleeding, getting the water out, and stabilizing everything. Restoration is what comes after. It's the actual surgery and recovery, the rebuilding and repair. You absolutely have to mitigate the damage before you can even think about restoring the property. So now that you get the stakes and you know what the pros do, let's talk about you. What should you, the homeowner, do in those first critical moments? We're going to lay out a clear, actionable plan. All right, you've just found water pouring into your house. Your mind is racing, panic is setting in. In that moment of pure crisis, what is the absolute first thing you should do? This is the most important question, and the answer is your key to keeping the damage from getting way worse. Here you go, your first 4 steps. Number 1, if and only if it is safe to do so, shut off the water source. 2, pull out your phone and start taking pictures and videos of everything. This documentation is vital for your insurance claim. 3, get your valuables, your photos, anything important out of harm's way. And 4, and this is the most important, call a certified professional. Immediately. Do not wait. But what about the sneaky leaks, the ones you can't see? Well, you have to become a bit of a detective in your own home. Always be on the lookout for these telltale signs: a musty smell you just can't place, baseboards that look a little puffy or swollen, or paint that's bubbling for no reason. These are all clues that you've got a hidden moisture problem that needs your attention, fast. So let's just end with this thought. Sure, getting your home dry after a disaster is the immediate goal, but the bigger question you should be asking yourself is it truly protected for the long haul? This whole experience should be a wake-up call to start thinking not just about reacting to damage, but about preventing it from ever happening in the first place.